Hi guys, and welcome to another Juice Gaming video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Middle Earth, the Shadow of War, and the Fortress mode, where you have an assault force and a defense force, and you can attack other people's fortresses, and you have to defend your own, so on and so forth. Now I'm going to explain the sort of best setup that has worked for me in both attack and defense, and I hope you enjoy this video and learn something from it. Anyway, I'm going to start with my attack, as that's what I tend to do more of. And for my assault force, I have 498. It's relatively high. It could be higher because my max level is 55 and 3 of my captains are a level 48. No, 4 of my captains are level 48, so it could be a bit higher, but I'm using this just for an example's sake. So the first thing I have as an upgrade is the Ologai unit, and that helps with smashing walls down, breaking the gates down. Generally does relatively good damage, has relatively high health, so it's a very good start. Can really help get those walls and gates down in a jiffy. My second upgrade for attack is the Savage Hosts. Now I have these because they tend to be the more aggressive units out of the 3. That's the Defender Host and the Hunter Host. They also do the most damage, I believe. They may not last as long as maybe the Defender Host or the Hunter Host, but it's just good for getting right in there, causing distractions, and generally doing quite a bit of damage. Now the third upgrade I have on my assault force is the Fiery Siege Beasts. Now I use fire because it makes a lot of enemies panic, a lot of captains panic. It tends to be a more common weakness than poison or curse, so definitely use fire for my assault force, as that tends to do relatively good damage as well. So my fourth upgrade is a Wargraug. Now the reason I have this, again, just like the Ologai, they do a lot of damage to walls, gates, and generally cause a big distraction and can cause orcs to run. So again, it's to help get into that castle as quick as possible, that fortress, sorry, as quick as possible, and do as much damage as possible as quick as possible. Now my fifth upgrade is Mounted Archers. Now I have these because they work with 2 positives. One, they're on Caragors, so they can move around quite quickly. Caragors can attack, they can shoot with their crossbows, so it's doing double damage essentially. And 2, if they get knocked off, there's still a Caragor running around causing damage, mayhem, and then the archer's there with his crossbow causing damage, mayhem, and that sort of thing. So I believe that works really well on attack, definitely on attack. And my last upgrade for my assault force is Overpower. Now this works well on other players' fortresses and AI fortresses because it just helps get the job done a lot quicker. You're not hanging around for so long, less time for your captains to get taken out, and it just makes the job that much easier when you can take the control points over that much quicker. Okay, so that's my attacking force. Now I'll go to my defense force, and my first upgrade for my defense force, obviously metal walls. They're the strongest kind of walls you can get, and they withstand the most amount of damage. Keep them out for as long as possible. That basically speaks for itself as to why I have that equipped. My second upgrade is Fire Spouts. Now this is also a good thing because it can make them panic as before with the Siege Beasts, and can do quite a bit of damage, stops them climbing the walls, and it can prolong them getting in, which is definitely obviously a plus because the more damage you do while they're outside, the less you have to deal with when they get in. So my third upgrade is the defender host. Now the reason this is because control points are what's important, and the captains that are guarding your fortress, and these can help prolong their lives, you know, considerably, because they can block attacks, they don't get killed so quickly, they can dish out fair damage as well, so they tend to slow down the assault quite well, especially if they're all gathered on the control point. It can really help out. And the fourth upgrade is poisonous siege beasts. Now the reason I have poisonous instead of fire is because I already have fire spouts. If you have poisonous siege beasts, you're covering both weaknesses, and you can slow them down because they stop and they choke and they cough and sick and everything, so it stops them from continuously running at the fortress, again buying time for the defences to do as much damage as possible. And even when they do survive and they hang around up there, they can still fire down onto control points and cause distractions and chaos with the enemy. And my fifth upgrade is War Caragors. Now the reason I don't have a Graug in defense is because a Graug is just one thing, and it can draw a lot of attention from the attacking force and essentially can get it taken out quite quickly. They're good for taking down fortifications, not so great for sort of just doing relative damage and causing a distraction. War Caragors, on the other hand, they run around in packs of 3 a lot of the time, and they can grab orcs, swing them around. They've got an insta-kill, which is grabbing them and shaking them on the floor. They're also a distraction because of numbers, and they run around just attacking enemies, and it can just thin out the enemies a bit, cause a bit of damage, make it easier for you, and that's why I tend to have those in my defense force. Now my fifth upgrade is spiked walls. Now that's good because it stops them from climbing over. They just have no choice. They have to stay outside until they destroy the wall. That slows them down a lot. Even players, they have. If the player was to attack your fort, then you'd have to go up one of the towers because you just can't go up the walls. So it's a general really good defensive combo, having the fire spouts and the spiked walls. It just works really well. And my last upgrade is fire mines. Now these do some really good damage. If they have sappers come running at you and one of these goes off next to them, then the whole lot goes up and they have to work on the gate manually. If officers are in the front line and they keep up with the troops, this can also cause damage, panic, and if there's a weakness or a fear of fire, it can cause the officers to just run in the opposite direction. And it just, yeah, the combination of poison and fire, it does work really well, and it's just one of those things. I suppose you could have the cursed siege beasts to cover all 3 weaknesses, but I tend to just stick with fire and poison. They're the most common ones, and cursed really is really specifically for players because it takes away their focus and all that. Okay, that's this video wrapped up. Thank you for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the channel for other content. Click that notification bells if you want to keep up with the latest content on this game and others, and I will see you guys very soon. Okay, thank you, and see you later.